I have some questions prepared for our fabulous guests, and every once in a while I'll be reaching out into the audience to grab what you guys want to know. Sound good? All right, so let's go ahead and start off with the introductions. Who are you and what are you famous for? Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Christina V. I'm the voice of Hawk in Seven Deadly Sins, Sailor Mars and Sailor Moon, Miraculous Ladybug. Oh goodness, the last one threw me off. Velvet Crow in Tales of Berseria. I am, do you guys know Monster Prom? Just came out. I play a character in that. Noelle Vermillion, did I say that already? I'm gonna stop right there. Thank you. Shantae in Shantae and Killua, because I always forget poor Killua in Hunter x Hunter.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Fawn. I'm in a bunch of stuff that's old and some stuff that's new. I'm Marilyn Trigun and Conan in Naruto, and Lilymon and Taismon in Digimon, and also play Merribit in Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans, and I played Melody in Hunter x Hunter. Woohoo!
And you're also a voice from Ladybug. You're the teacher.
I'm Bryce Pappenbrook, and you might know me from my work as Kirito in Sword Art Online.
Yeah!
In Attack on Titan. Reno Kumura in Blue Exorcist. Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins. Or Miraculous Ladybug. Wikipedia knows the rest.
Hi, I'm Josh Greeley. I guess recently most well known for Yuri and Yuri on Ice. Armin and I know, right? I've heard of that.
Which Yuri?
Do what?
Which one?
Yuri, the Japanese Yuri.
A better one.
Melting in Russian. Armin in Attack on Titan. Narrator, the Grand Priest in Dragon Ball Super. Sadao Mao and the Devil is a Part-Timer. And Satan, the Lord of Fries. And I was also in Tales. You were in Zillia too, weren't you? Yeah. Tales of Zillia? Yeah, I played Luger in Tales of Zillia.
Oh yeah, I wanted your money!
Yeah, you kept cash.
Yes, awesome! I was like the secret main character in that game.
You had like so many great like little sayings every time you would pop up to take my money. So, because I couldn't get mad at you, because every time they were hysterical.
I only remember something about like a fish.
Yeah.
And the tank.
Yeah.
Cash goes in the bank, fish goes in the tank, or something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah. And what else? Kuranosuke and Princess Jellyfish. And all sorts of other fun stuff. We were in the Wallflower together. Not a lot of people remember. Not people don't know Nabashine anymore. I know.
I signed like 5 Wallflowers yesterday.
Really? Rock on.
Hey, hi, I'm Chris Patton. I'm having a conversation with Josh Greeley. I've been voice acting for a long time, 19 years. That's more than 4. And let's see, I played Greed in Full Metal Alchemist, and Ashura in Soul Eater, and Sosuke Sakura in Full Metal Panic, and Oikawa and Q, and Ayato in Title of the Lovers. And I played this guy's enemy in Sword Art Online, Ordinal Scale, AG, and I played Cliff in Fire Emblem Echoes, and a whole bunch of other stuff. What's up with the what?
What's up with that look at the end of that correctly?
It's a little bit of sass.
A little. You sassy?
I know.
Well, since all 4 of you were here and we were missing a fabulous face up on stage yesterday, let's get to work. Do you have any pets?
Do what?
Do you have any pets?
3. I have 2 cats and a dog.
How did you sacrifice your goat?
How would I sacrifice my goat?
No, how did you?
Teach you to get into the industry.
Okay, gotcha. How did I sacrifice it?
And was it a
Well, I chopped its head off, hollowed it out, put it on, and then I did high kicks around the Funimation building, singing like a little teapot.
That's the way to do it!
Mine was the same except in Goodbye Horses. So. apples, right? Dust to dust.
I love it. And I heard that from an inside source that we all know from the wonderful Worky, that someone held back a Corgi-con story from us when she talked about her pets.
Corgi-con story? Oh no, that's my shame on display. I will tell you all. So there's a convention in California, pretty close by to where I live, so I was able to bring my dog. And it was my dream that my dog would be like my convention mate, but she's just kind of crazy. So I brought her to this one convention, and she was like itching to go out into the audience, and it was like a full room, and you know, the tables went all the way, the chairs went all the way back, and so I let her out, and everyone's like, "Oh, so cute, yay, Corgi!" So I let her out into the audience, and then someone raised their hand, like, "Christina, your dog just pooped." And I was mortified, so I called my dog over, like, "Oh my God, come back!" And I was like, "Somebody please take care of that." And so the dog came over, and there was this really cute girl in the aisle. She's like, "Ah, don't worry, he's so cute." And then she peed on the girl's foot. Guys, it is, I felt like an embarrassed mother.
I'm glad Worky told me about that.
I'm going to have Frey pee on Worky's foot. So now she doesn't come with me anywhere.
Oh.
I mean, because she's so like docile and calm, but like she's crazy. I took her to a birthday party for a dog, and it was like a little Yorkie. And it was a Star Wars birthday party. And like they were fine for the first like 2 hours. My dog was super calm, and the Yorkie was like barking up a storm. So Frey eventually peed and pooped, the combo, and then attacked the birthday girl. And I learned my lesson, hopefully. She's gonna be my ring bearer and flower girl at the wedding.
And then she's going to keep pulling you.
I hope not!
Well, speaking of dog birthday parties,
Yeah, I'm taking a risk.
another
'Cause I
question
love
that I
her.
got from actually one of our fabulous people up here. What do you like to do outside of voice acting? What is your favorite hobby that you like to do outside of work? And let's go and start down with Chris this time and work our way back.
Hobby?
What's your favorite thing to do not voice acting?
My favorite thing to do is ride roller coasters.
Woo!
I've ridden like 130, and I'm like a total encyclopedic nerd about roller coasters. Yes.
Do you have a top like three?
Three, yes.
coasters? Yeah, let's hear.
So number 1 is Maverick at Cedar Point.
Okay.
Number 2 is Millennium Force at Cedar Point. Number 3 is Twisted Colossus at Magic Mountain.
Nice.
I know Colossus. Where's Cedar Point?
Yeah.
Where?
That's like if you said to a Christian, "Where's Israel?" Okay, so Cedar Point is like the mecca of coaster nerds. And it's in Sandusky, Ohio, where I will be at a convention at the end of this month, and I'm going to go and ride this coaster called Steel Vengeance, which has 30 seconds of airtime. 30 seconds of airtime. Cedar Point and Magic Mountain are in constant competition as like who has bigger roller coasters. So it's great that I live right by Magic Mountain and I travel to Cedar Point. I get to go to, I'm bimecule. Hell yeah. Yes. So I ride roller coasters, and I'm a total music nerd too. But anyway, we could, other people, Josh.
I love Star Wars. With
Yeah!
I read all the new books when they come out. I love to keep up with all, the extra, the series and stuff. Just finished Rebels with my wife, and other than that, I play video games, mostly computer, PC Master Race, and play World of Warcraft, and, Overwatch, and a lot of the Blizzard games. They're kind of my go-to if I just have a few minutes or maybe like 30, like an hour or something to kill, or just like Warcraft is more like, no, I have 6 hours to kill. Let's go get crazy. But like Overwatch and Hearthstone and all those, just like a quick, all right, we're done.
So I'm finding a split through Star Wars fans. Are you excited for the Han Solo movie, or?
It should be Lando. It should be the Lando movie.
Best answer so far, thank you.
I'm a martial artist, so I train in Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu. I've been slacking a little bit on my training recently, but for a while there I was pretty consistent in getting up super early and training jujitsu with Johnny and Bosch. So yeah, it's a really great way to start your day. You know, you wake up early, drive into the gym, get choked out a few times by a Power Ranger, and start your day. It's fun.
Dorothy?
I'd love to do that.
Get choked out by a Power Ranger?
Only if it's Johnny, because I know. What I actually do draw. I draw portraits of people. Yeah. Now I can't do it live because they move too much and it drives me insane. So I'll like take a picture of them and like the lighting that I like, and then I'll it takes a while because I like to become one with the picture before I actually start drawing it. So I'll like live with the picture for a while, and then I'll sit for like 4 hours straight and draw a portrait of somebody. I love that. Yeah.
What are we talking about? Like a paper, canvas, digital?
No,
Skin.
paper, charcoal, you know, like that. You know, 11 by 14 or whatever.
Right.
Not huge because I can't concentrate that largely.
I love charcoal paintings. Those are really nice.
I like working out.
All right.
I wish I did.
Right now I'm
Sorry, I'm
doing
alive.
the Gamora workout, and it's really fun. Yeah, like that's how we keep it interesting. I think is Nate's doing like he's obsessed. Maybe I shouldn't be like telling you special, but he like wants to be an Avenger. So like he does Captain America workout. I do Gamora workouts. I also read a lot. We play Pokemon Go every day. See?
That's what she's doing right now. Love
There's
it.
some good stuff happening right now.
And I don't doubt it.
I love my animals, my Bray and Rilo, and we're probably getting a Sphinx when I get home. Yeah. Oh, so cute. But we really I just like being with him. And we do things, menial things that are super fun, like watch a show on Netflix, or Breath of the Wild was like the highlight of 2018 so far for me. It was such an amazing game. Yeah, and that's, I'm trying to like keep work stuff out of it, because like singing and all that stuff ties into work. But yeah, that's what I like to do.
That's awesome. That's a lot of cool stuff. You all are more interesting now. Because you're now real people. So going back kind of to your careers and stuff, since all of you have been doing this for a while now, if you could go back to kind of the start where you started, is there anything you would love to tell yourself when you first started that you now know now that you wish you knew way back when?
I would say, relax. Everything's gonna be okay, just enjoy it, because especially when I was younger, anxiety is just, like as an actor, it's so like prominent. So I wish I would have known like I wish in school they would teach mindfulness, like meditation and stuff like that, because
They actually do now.
they do? Oh my god!
At my daughter's high school, they actually have mindfulness days
Oh
at
my
school.
gosh.
And they like take time out of their regular classes, and it's like fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was like a
Kids
little
these
production.
days, they got it all. They got
They
all
also
the
have
same
nap time,
merch.
because that's free.
Where was that class and how to do taxes when I was in school?
Amen.
Like,
Oh
Yeah.
no.
that'd be great.
Yeah.
Listen, taxes, please, just make that a course.
I just
Same
got-
course, yeah.
Yeah, same course. No, I still know how to do taxes. I'm just like, hey, tax man. Yeah.
CPA to the rescue.
Yeah.
Well, Dorothy?
What would I tell my advice I would give myself about anime?
Sure.
Let's see. Probably that because in the beginning, I didn't stretch myself. I didn't try to do anything then like moms. That was my thing. I auditioned for moms, that I didn't go out of that wheelhouse at all, and I wish I had told myself, you know what, you can do more than that. You don't have to wait, 5, 10 years to stretch yourself. Just do that now. Try everything. That's what I would have told myself.
I'd probably tell myself to save my voice now because you're about to scream a lot in the future. Just a little warning.
You would wish that.
Mr. Josh?
I don't think I would change anything.
Fair enough.
Advice would you give yourself?
Nothing. Because like I would be afraid that even the slightest change would make something. It's like that
Completely
whole
different.
changing the past paradox type thing. Something's going to be different, and you're not going to like it. So I'll just let it sit as is. I'm fine.
Fair
with
enough.
it.
Fair enough.
I'd calm down. Definitely relax, calm down, don't be so anxious, and make peace with the fact that you're going to be playing 17-year-olds into your 40s.
True. True.
What was it like the first time you guys recorded anime for each of you?
My first gig ever was in this show called Master of Mosquiton the Vampire, and I played Soldier B, and I screamed and I said, "Oh, it's a mummy," and I died.
Yes.
So not much has changed.
I mean, he wasn't 17. He was like, I didn't start voicing the angsty 17-year-old until about 3 months later.
It was pretty much the exact same. It was at ABV, but it was at Monster Island in Austin, and I played a 17-year-old who was trying to buy tickets to a soccer game, and then he got hypnotized by a demon chick.
Like you do.
Right.
I'm trying to remember the first show I worked on, but it was probably such a small line that I had that I can't even remember. But I do know something I worked on very early. I had one line in Cowboy Bebop. Yeah. So they go to Mars, and there's all these orphans, and there's one orphan with a little robot and a pot on his head, and he goes, "Look at this, look at this." In the script, his name was Pothead. So, right on my resume, I am Pothead in Cowboy Bebop.
Yes.
That's great. Okay, interestingly, I think Mary Elizabeth had me do an outtake of your character.
Did you?
Yeah, when I was in there, and I said the F word several times as the character Pothead.
We need to find that.
I know. But no, my first one I think was Super Dimension Century Orgus, and I played Shia, who was a mom character. She, the usual. But I didn't know it was the usual at the time. We recorded at this place called The Cave in the Valley, and they didn't know how to record. We had no booth. It was just in a big room, no padding on the walls.
Nice.
Yeah, there were 3 of us in the room at the same time, and the mic stands had nothing on them. So when you said your line, it bounced back from the thing you were reading against. It bounced off all the walls, and I'm thinking, wow, this is professional, right? This is the way it's supposed to be? Who knew? I really didn't know. I thought, okay, I guess this is it. It wasn't.
Spoiler.
My first experience in the booth was my very first audition, and I was a little baby 16-year-old reading for Fu from Samurai Champloo. And it was very interesting. And then after that, then they kind of turned it into a general audition. Yeah, that's a very vivid memory to me because I was just so happy that I got that chance to be there.
Way back when, to a role that you've done a long time ago, who would it be, and what would you kind of do to reprise it or redo it, kind of thing?
I think I'd want to redo my very first main role as Nanoha in Magical Girl, lyrical Nanoha, just because I'm a lot better actress now.
Yeah.
Okay, this is kind of an answer to that question. I did, and it wasn't actually that long ago, but I did Cyprian and Patillo in Sailor Moon. And the first time we did it, we kind of made him a little bit like Valley Girl-ish. And I was never really happy with that choice. I wasn't happy with that, but the director was okay with it. Yeah, ew, right?
Yeah. I figured that ew.
I actually
Ew, it's a Valley Girl.
and I got it. Like, I'm from the ballet, okay? So, no, but then I did actually get to do it again. They brought the characters back. I guess it didn't die, or it, like, changed or something. I don't even know. So, Cyprian and Patillo came back, and I surreptitiously didn't make them Valley-ish that time. And they didn't say anything. So I'm like, yes.
I don't know if I'd change anything that I actually did. I feel like when you're in the booth, you kind of live in the moment, and whatever kind of happens is where you are in that moment as an actor. So it's kind of cool to see the growth and see that you've gotten better. So I don't know if I would change anything, but if I was forced to change something, I would definitely say the F word as pothead, like you did in the outfit. I think that would have been great to hear, 12-year-old me just screaming the F word. That would have been cool.
I'm with Bryce. I wish he could go back and say the F word as pothead. I mean, because really, Bebop was not complete without that.
It's yours to change. We'll double team this.
I'd probably go back and maybe do my first lead role again, just to the Wallflower. Like go back and play the Wallflower again, just to kind of see how if I would approach some things differently.
In the Dragon Ball Z universe, I play this villain named Turles. And when he makes his debut in the Tree of Might, he's super villainy and butch and scary and stuff. And now, as he keeps appearing in more and more Z video games, they keep writing him sassier and sassier. And so my portrayal of him has gotten, frankly, a little gay. And I think I would like to go back to Tree of Might, and Tree of Might give it the sass treatment. I think is what I would do. Yeah, sassless.
True sass.
Yeah. That's his evolution.
I, for one, would love to see that. That would be amazing.
One person would buy it.
What's the biggest mistake of your career?
Not mistake, but blooper.
I signed that contract.
Right, and then it just kind of became either hilarious, stuck in, or just.
The thing that sticks out the most, it didn't get used because it couldn't have gotten used. It was one of my early leads. It was a show called Razafon. And I was playing this angsty 17-year-old, go figure, named Ayato, not the vampire Ayato from Diabolic Lovers, but a much more pure Ayato. And I was going in for one of my sessions, and I used to have this horrible habit. That's why I used to be. Anyway, I used to have this horrible habit. On my way to sessions, I would chug a Red Bull. And it would get me I would chug a Red Bull and listen to The Killers or Franz Ferdinand or something. For some reason, that made me in the right mindset. And I was late to one of my Razafon sessions, and I sucked down a Red Bull, and I get there, and I see that the first cue that I have is what the script writer at the time thought was cute to call, at cue da-da-da-da, we have a Chris Patton throat-ripping scream. That's literally what they noted in the script, and I was like, oh, well, good way to start the day. And so I go, and I begin the scream, and it turns into this massive Red Bull belch I just stood there kind of sheepishly, and the director was laughing, and the engineer piped in, and he goes, dude, you peaked the bass.
Yes.
And so that's mine.
I do need to add on to that, though, honestly, because years later, I found there was an engineer that worked for both ADV Films and Funimation for a while. His name is Jason Grundy. Who basically imagine a very tall, kind of heavy-set Hispanic man that sounds like Strong Bad. And this is Grundy. Grundy was a master of catching stuff on the microphone, even if you weren't supposed to be recording. You could just sense it coming. He has a library of this man's belches.
Yeah!
So when he went up to Funimation to work for them from ADV, he took that library of Patton's burps with him, and whenever they needed a monster or something, and then they couldn't find something to record, they're just like, I got you, fam.
I got zero money.
Zero money, but his belches are in there all twisted and
I was just told like 2 years ago, for the past 7 years, my belch gas has been used as many different demons and monsters.
You're welcome to these 17-year-olds and belching monsters.
Oh, actually, there's a game called Oculus Beats that I did for a cup of tea. I'm the lead character, but then I'm also Brittany Karbowski's belches because she can't belch on TV. So, main character who's an angsty 17-year-old, and then I'm a little girl's belches. So, I'm awesome apparently.
What was the question?
Mistakes/bloopers of your career that really stick out to you.
Bloopers. I guess the one that I can share.
Oh.
Because you know how it is. Every time, most of the time, your bloopers end up just being curses and stuff that just keep screwing up like third, fourth time. But those always flips every time. Fits the flaps perfect. Yeah. But I had this. There was a show we did a few years back called Initial D. You seen Initial D? Yeah. And we were doing the third season. No, the third was a movie. So we were doing the last season, fourth season, and my character is, I think, the most animated in that entire show. Like, because who here has seen Initial D? I mean, you've seen it? Okay, you see, all right. So you know, the majority of the cast, it might as well be cardboard. Like, their expressions never change, and it's always like, did you see how fast he made that hairpin turn around that corner? Yes, I saw how fast he made that hairpin turn around that corner. Yes, it was a very good hairpin turn. My guy's like, cars are cool! So, he, in this fourth season, is at a race, and he sees his girlfriend from the first season, and they broke up and stuff back in the first season. He sees her again, and he runs up to her, and this was my last line before my session was over, and Jeremy Lee plays my ex, and she was coming in after me. And in the animation, in the scene, what is happening is he runs up to her, just like, hey! And then it's a close-up shot of her, looks to him, he's like, huh? Because, do you remember me? And then he just starts like frantically pointing at his face with those Initial D expressions, just like, because I'm guessing that's going to remind her, and of course it does, because she's like, oh hey! Instead, this is what Jeremy heard when she came in right after me. Hey Jeremy! Huh? This reminds you of anything?
Yes. Me.
Apparently she fell out of the little whisper booth and they had to wait like 10 minutes before recording it. So that's my favorite.
I love bloopers. So, I'll tell you a couple stories. So, I have a panel later today called Efforts and Reactions in Video Games and Anime, and I have a series of bloopers which I call Bad Anime Reactions, and this started in Blue Exorcist. I would wait for a moment where my character, you always have to make a sound for everything your characters do. So I would wait for a moment where they were expecting like and I would give them a like, there's a moment where Rin's dialing the phone, and I gave him an effort for every key that he pressed. And then the entire cast started doing it. And they saved all of them, and I had to trim it down to like 2 minutes because there's too many of these things. So if you want to see some bad anime reactions, come to my panel later today. But also, I got really comfortable with the cast, or with the crew for Sword Art Online. And at a convention called Anime Expo, they saved all the bloopers from season 2 and they played it back to a crowd of about 2,000 people. Well, I said the most disgusting things I could think of as Cutie Toe, and they made it into the blooper reel.
Oh, God.
So, I don't think well, someone in the audience was recording and they put it up on YouTube. Definitely don't go and look it up. Look it up after that.
Look it up.
I mean,
This is me telling you guys to look it
I
up.
just say terrible, terrible things. Google them. Don't Google them. It'll ruin everything. Not PG. Not PG. Like 80% of those bloopers were me. You're welcome.
God, I gotta look that up. I gotta check that out, baby.
Don't do it.
Don't mind me here for
Definitely don't go to the panel either. You know?
Oh God, bloopers, man. It's always just, you're saying your line and sometimes you're, oh God. Okay, great. But sometimes something would just occur to me in the booth that I thought would fit, so I would just say it instead of the line. Like, I left my purse in the car. Wait, that's not the line. Okay. Oh God, and I had one where I was in the 12 Kingdoms, and she has this long saber, and she's like arguing, and she just takes the thing and she rips the curtains as she's, arguing with this guy, and she's like, I've always hated these curtains. So just make up stuff. Because other than the swearing, you gotta try and make it fun once in a while. Okay. How many take stuff to do this? I'm gonna say something else. Something different.
I'm infamous for something in the booth. I burp a lot.
More burping.
So much burping.
Soulmates.
So like some engineers, there's an engineer I work with named Jeff. He works at Central Command and he's great. But whenever I burp, he like won. And then one time he'll do a tally for my burps. Yeah, I think the most burps I had in a 4-hour session so far was 120. Oh. 120, because I'll do the line and be like, I don't know. And then sometimes they'll use it as like the beep, so instead of
Yes.
So one time I was working with Alex Von David, and he was like, Christina, please go to a doctor. Please see a medical professional. Like, I really don't, I think I'm fine. It's just, I'm burpy.
You take in a lot of air when you're doing voice acting, by the way. And
Yeah.
like, especially something like audiobooks where you have to breathe silently. You're like, in between every sentence. When I'm narrating an audiobook, I belch like a monster, like every 10 paragraphs. It just happens.
Yeah, it just happens.
We heard about your monsters burps, so
Yeah.
tying everything.
You and Christina should get
Just get in a booth and have a belch.
I know, Belgium.
belch
Yes.
and then go ride roller coasters.
Mine, I think you would win though, because mine are like,
Oh, okay. Mine are sort of basso pro salad. Yeah.
They're amazing, honestly. I wish I could burp like Chris Patton.
Maybe I'll teach it yours.
oh yeah.
Your master class.
Yes.
After gas.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There'll be a panel next year.
Coming to Facebook.
But apparently I have like burping stage fright, because me and Bryce did a show where like, what was it? Like we had to burp and fart?
Oh. So, this is actually one of my favorite scenes that I've ever had to do as a voice actor. My character was instructing her character to burp and fart to speed up and slow down the people in the city. So as she would fart, the people would go faster, and she would burp and the people would go slower. So I was instructing her like, a little fart, a big burp, another 2 burps, and a fart. And then all hers were in there already. And I was dying of laughter.
What show was that?
It's called Paperport. It's like a paper animation show. I think it was only played in the UK.
Sorry,
If someone
guys.
finds it, send it to us.
I
I
wanna
want
see
to see that scene.
That show was crazy. That show made me realize I can like squeal like a pig, which came in handy for other roles.
Little things. Favorite female character that you've ever voiced?
Favorite girl character is Kuranosuke. Favorite boy character? Probably Yuri.
I
both
think that
meant
was
a lot
kind
to
of
me.
I think that was kind of known. Here is a kind of obscure reference now.
It's a little obscure.
Okay.
Best boy is Kilua.
Yeah.
And best girl is Velvet Pro. No, Homura Akemi. Sorry!
They're both yes.
Reverse curse.
That's such a hard one. How do you pick? I guess I would say Conan, the female. God, and I've done so many boys. How do you pick?
You
I would
what?
say, wait. Okay, no.
I mean, typical Saturday.
I would say Dit from Mixmasters, which no one saw, but he was
Well.
like one of my favorite boys.
What was his name?
I wish I had like a button for Chris's mic that I could just cut off every once in a while.
Well, I don't know. I can't pick. It's so difficult to just narrow it down to one. But I have to say, I really enjoyed playing Kirito as a girl. That was really fun.
Yes. Yes.
I ran into Alex Von David when he was directing Madoka Magica, and I was like, what are you working on? He's like, oh, it's this dark and really cool magical girl show, and I'm like, I want to be a magical girl. And he looked at the producer and she went, so I was not allowed to be a magical girl until Kirito. Pink and sparkles, oh, good times.
And your number one boy?
How can I pick? I mean, there's two, it's all of them.
Cat Noir.
Yay, Noir!
Yeah. Woo!
Where?
That is perfect cosplay.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, it's your turn, Chris.
I still can.
Yes.
Like best, the girl that we want to voice, or that we did. Like I've only, like I haven't. Is that? The
Is
question?
one a voice okay?
Whatever. My best boy. Oh god, I mean all my voices are boys. Best. Oh, Ayato from Diabolic Lovers, because you know, bad vampire boys. And my best girl always being Brittany Karbowski's Belches in Occupus B, clearly. So.
There you go.
Girl gas.
There you go.
Yeah, that's my name on Tinder. Girl gas. Yeah. Swipe right. Just kidding. Ask another question quick.
Really want to be a persona.
Yes.
Anyone in
Persona.
particular, just a persona?
A new character.
A new character.
Yes.
A main character with the most lines.
Yes. I can totally.
Hey, we gotta be specific.
True.
Very humble of you.
I love that answer.
Actually, I booked the role that I really wanted. Yeah, that's in a game that's coming out later this year. So it would be that. Oh, I wish that I had ever had an audition for Kingdom Hearts because I would have loved to.
I try not to get attached to any roles before I'm, cast as them, because most of the time you don't get the roles that you want to play. But I would love to play a role like SpongeBob SquarePants. I can kind of do that.
Oh God.
I think Tom Kenny is amazing as SpongeBob, and I was at a convention that he was at, and we were sitting in the green room, and my daughter was there with me. She was eating a salad with cucumbers, and he comes up and goes, "Are those sea cucumbers?" Ah! And I just like froze. I had to like hold in the fanboy. I'm like, it's SpongeBob. Just tried to be professional, but I would love to play a character like that.
Anything Star Wars. I don't care if I'm just a nameless stormtrooper that gets blasted or force pushed or jump with a lightsaber, whatever. Just I could be in Star Wars. Also, if they ever made any more of the Slayers anime, I would love to be part of the Slayers. Even if it's just a bandit getting dragon slaved by Lena Inverse or whatever, just blow me up. I'll Team Rocket away. Ding. I'm done, but I was
That
in
was
Slayer.
my
So you know what though about being in the Slayers universe? So I played Gary Gabriel after somebody else had.
Yeah.
That's not a place you want to be necessarily.
Yeah.
Because like you get this like 50-50 split up. I love Chris Pratt and I hate him because you're not the original guy. But anyway, yeah. But
Because what's his name? Eric Stewart?
It was Eric Stewart. Yeah. Who's not bad. Yeah.
He's been in some stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
I have to
okay.
answer this. Right.
I haven't answered yet.
You know, I always wanted to play a vampire. I got to do that. I wanted to play a zombie. I got to do that. And I wanted to continue playing more complex, angsty teens. And I've done that. And I wanted to play like a notedly like, gay character, and I got to do that. But now I want to play a gay zombie vampire angsty teen. So when that happens, I will have reached the apex, the zenith. Where do I go from there? I don't know. We'll find out.
That's such a huge market too. I mean, I'm sure
It's a huge, not at all market. I know.
There's so many gay or
Actually, it's
questioning
kind of what every
zombies.
young adult novel is now. I mean,
Representation.
it's like every other young adult novel kind of is that. So maybe I should keep doing audiobooks. I don't know.
All right, we have 3 minutes. Does anyone have a quick question out there?
This room is very
Right there,
crowded.
pick there. Yeah, I got really full.
Do you have any particular way that you do like screams or other things that would normally make your voice raw, or do you just do it and pay for it later?
So techniques for screaming. Remember, we have 3 minutes. So we got to keep your answers short. No long stories.
Yeah, go.
I was gonna say, like, some of the stuff I do, like creature sounds, it's not actually screaming, it's breathing in, like a raptor or a T-Rex could be like, so things like that. So that's not vocally stressful at all, but screaming, good luck.
I think the only thing that saves me from screaming is I come from a musical theater background and I think the same techniques you would use for like belting or singing rock opera or something like that is the same techniques you use for screaming. You're gonna blow your voice eventually, but if you're using breath and support and placement, you're gonna preserve it longer than people who don't know how to do that.
All right.
One of the first and best tips I ever got for it was whenever you have to scream something, don't ever do this. Never, or if you can, don't even do it like straight on the mic. Try to get up to the mic, do this, like angled down. It relaxes
angles
everything.
down.
And so like I was able to like do the majority of I was able to do Yuri on Ice, Ruby, Drifters, and a little kid show that was every single character screamed everything. All in one, I did all of those in one season, and I only lost my voice like 2 or 3 times. So like, just from doing that and trying, and obviously also constantly be drinking water and constantly be having, when you're not recording, shut up. My wife and I ended up communicating only through clicks, snaps, whistles, and mouth farts in order to, that was no.
You know what my fiance told me? He's like, "Aw, it's kind of charming when you're like this." Like, because I was like, "I can almost talk again," but he was like, you know, that kind of stuff. He's like, "It's kind of charming though." I'm like, "I will talk."
It's so nice when you're not talking.
It's so nice when you.
I want to hear that from a loved one.
I scream a lot. I think
Her and Nate are so good.
my sort of screaming training was from martial arts. Like I'm just very method. Like I would go after school to teach, and I would just yell at kids and yell at them and yell at them, and then their parents would take class, and I just yell at their parents and yell at them. So that was kind of my vocal training for screaming. And then I just like. All my screams are kind of different. For Aaron, they're all like very angry screams. So I think about things in my life that make me very angry, like traffic in LA.
Yes.
Scream in my
Yes.
car.
Yeah, traffic at other people.
I often do.
And like, I think about moments that I was very upset. Like, I had this bag of chips I really wanted to eat, and my dogs, they ate those chips. That is my motivation for Aaron's anger.
You learn while doing random things.
So.